Yeah.
And how do you pronounce your last name? Was it Stein, Leykis or Steen?
Leykisberg. And G. Gordon Lidstein.
Lidstein. There you go.
Yeah, I wonder if they... I'll bet guys like that caller we had on the show this week, Dominic, I'll bet that he did not know that G. Gordon Lidstein is actually a Jew. He's a Jew, for God's sake.
I bet you're right.
I'm making it up. I don't know.
No, and I just wanted to tell you that you use one of my favorite words all the time. I love the word idiot. And it's so apropos for Dominic.
In this business, you got to learn how to wield that word.
That's right.
You've got to.
Yeah, my two favorites are idiot and stupid. And it's bad when you're a stupid idiot.
That's twice as bad, indeed.
It's twice as bad. Anyway, I just wanted to call and say hello from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Thank you, Rob. We love being on the Signal. You like the station?
I do.
The Signal 103.7.
I like it.
We like it, too.
Good talking to you, Tom.
Thank you, Ron. You call me anytime.
All right.
Take care.
All right.
Bye-bye. Michelle in Virginia Beach, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom. How are you this evening?
Okay, Michelle. How are you?
Oh, pretty good. I'd like some advice from you.
All right.
My husband and I were members of the Eastern Surfing Association in Virginia Beach.
Yeah.
And we seem to have a big problem with trying to surf safely in this city. The city council has given us a small little piece of beach in the summertime where we can surf. It's the only place there's really any waves. And we're crammed in so tight, and when you get 150 surfers out in the water, all surfing in a really small area, it becomes dangerous. The rest of the whole boardwalk, they give it to the tourist. What do we do?
Boy, oh boy, I guess you have to do a little lobbying with the folks who run things there. You got to schmooze and write letters and complain. Now, who's in charge?
Of the Eastern Surfing Association?
Yeah, who's in charge of that? I mean, where do they get the right to tell you where you can surf?
They have roped it off, and they have lifeguards that patrol a certain area of the beach, and every time we try and move a little bit, they yell at us and make us go back to the surfing area.
Who owns that property?
It's,
It's public property?
Yeah. It's the ocean, and they've got it.
Well, who's going to enforce this?
The lifeguards do.
Well, and who do the lifeguards work for?
The city.
Wait a minute. The city gave them the right to run this?
Yeah, the city has allowed only a small area of beach that we can surf in. The whole rest of the beach, they say, is for baiters, tourists, and they won't let us surf over there until after 5 o'clock in the evening. Then we can.
Well, then you have to lobby City Hall on that. And
So
if I were
it's-
you, I would. I don't see why some private organization should be able to run the beach.
I don't either.
That's outrageous.
It is, isn't it?
Sounds suspicious to me.
Yeah.
If I were you, I'd start learning who my city councilman is. I would get to know somebody in the mayor's office, and I'd bring everybody else with a surfboard down there and make some trouble.
That's a good idea. And believe me, there's enough of us, we probably could. Well, I sure appreciate the information, and I want to thank you for allowing me the time to speak on your show, and your show is wonderful.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yeah, here's the story. Here's the story I was telling you about before. Philip Morris, this is from the AP. Philip Morris has launched an unprecedented recall of cigarette brands, including the industry's top seller, Marlboro, because of what it called contaminated filters. The company said some filters contain a material that could cause smokers, quote, temporary discomfort, ranging from a bad taste and eye, nose, and throat irritation to dizziness, coughing, or wheezing. Now, how would you be able to tell that from any other cigarettes? I mean, that is really... This is amazing. I'm glad they're concerned about our comfort here. The recall also includes various packs of other brands, including Virginia Slims, Benson & Hedges, Merit, Cambridge, and Basic. I don't get it. I do not get it. Yeah, they got to recall those cigarettes because they might cause throat irritation. Okay, fine. What are the other cigarettes doing? What are the other ones doing? Amazing. 17 minutes after the hour. My name is Tom Leykis, and we will continue.
Coast to Coast, the Tom Leykis Show.
I'd like to improve my memory this Memorial Day.
Okay, try this. During
All day long, radio that expands your consciousness. The Buzz, 100.7 FM.
minutes after the hour, the Tom Leykis Show. Stephanie in Seattle, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom. How you doing?
Okay.
You cracked me up. I mean, when you asked the question why do African Americans smoke Kool cigarettes, I fell out laughing. I couldn't believe it because you bring out a good point.
It's true, isn't it?
Yeah, they smoke Kool cigarettes. I wonder if it has anything to do with the price, though. Is it a bargain? Maybe black smokers like bargains. I don't know.
But there's cheaper ones. I mean, you can buy those generic cigarettes at the supermarket.
Well, that's true. That is so true. But, it is something they do smoke.
What's that supermarket chain in Seattle? QFC?
QFC, Safeway, or Stock Market.
Yeah, you can go in there. You can pick up some generic cigarettes.
Yeah, it's a bad habit. But you know what's the ugliest thing is when I'm driving down the street and there's an unattractive lady in another car, and to make her even more uglier, she sticks a damn cigarette in her face. And it's like, oh, boy.
What I love are those people with tracheotomies who stick it right in the hole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you know what's a good combination with cigarettes, at least with cigarette smokers?
What's that?
It's a cigarette and those smut books, those paperback books.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. A lot of them sit outside at work, right at the entrance, and you see them sitting there smoking and just into their book. Like, oh, God.
You know, when I was in Phoenix, speaking of shopping, when I was in Phoenix, there was a store in Phoenix, Arizona called Smitty's.
Mm-hmm.
It's a chain of supermarkets that's not just supermarkets. It's one of these supermarkets that sells, like, everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you can go in and pick up a garden hose or clothing or towels. So they got a bank branch in there.
Wow.
They even sell weapons in there. You can go in and buy guns. So one day, I'm like, it's like Super Bowl Sunday. It's one of my favorite days to shop because nobody's in the store,
Mm-hmm.
So I go into Smitty's one day, and here's a guy. He comes in, he picks up a Panasonic 13-inch color TV and a six-pack. You could, tell where his whole day was going. It was amazing. And what was amazing about Smitty's was, this is absolutely true. You could go in, you could pick up a shotgun, a wedding cake, and then you could hold your wedding at Smitty's banquet room and have a shotgun wedding. It was incredible. You could do it right there.
Well, do they sell Kool cigarettes too? Did he have a bag of that?
I don't know. Not a lot of black folks where I used to live in Phoenix, may I say.
Yeah, you're right.
A lot of Benson and Hedges around, though.
I love the questions you ask. I mean, that's a good point.
See, people are afraid to ask questions like
Hey,
that.
well, why? I mean, hey.
Because they're afraid they'll be wrong. I'm not wrong. Black folks smoke Kools.
They do.
That's it, period.
At least all the ones that I know smoke Kool.
All the ones I know smoke Kools. If they smoke Kool.
Yeah. Well, it'd be good if they switch to something more healthy. Maybe they could all start eating yogurt. I don't know.
Now that would be good. That would be better.
It would be.
Now, what is this recalling cigarettes because they're unsafe? I mean, come on.
I know. God, that is the stupidest thing. That is the stupidest thing. Waste of money. It's stupid. They're going to lose $200 million behind that. Whoa.
I guess they weren't deadly enough. I don't.
Yeah, there you go.
What possible reason could you have for recalling cigarettes?
I don't know.
What are you going to recall next? Arsenic? It wasn't killing fast enough.
Oh, boy. Oh,
Amazing.
boy. Keep asking those questions.
All
Make
right,
us go,
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Tamara, or it's Tamara, I'm assuming, in Red Bluff, California. Is that you, Tamara?
Yes, that's me.
Oh, cool. Hi, Tamara.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm doing okay.
Good. I want to talk about the Kings. I think
Are we talking about the Los Angeles Kings or the Sacramento Kings?
No, the Los Angeles Kings, the one and only team.
Oh, the hockey team. Okay. What about them?
I think that the Kings would have made it to the playoffs and we got rid of the wrong person. I think we needed to get rid of Sam McMaster, not Barry Melrose and Cap Raider.
Oh, I happen to agree with you. I think Sam McMaster ought to resign to pursue other interests. You know what I'm saying?
I believe so. I think it all started with the Marty McSorley trade back the year before.
Well, McMaster wasn't there for that.
No, he wasn't there for that. Bruce McNall had a lot to do with that. But, you know, Gretzky wanted McSorley and said he wasn't going to stay, and he stayed anyways. I mean, you know, he gave a wish list of what he wanted.
Well, that's what the newspapers say. I don't know what to believe about that stuff, to be honest with you.
Well, McSorley's been with Gretzky since Edmonton, and they came over together in the trade.
They did.
And, I mean, I'm a diehard Kings fan, and I think the Kings will outbeat the Sharks anytime.
Well, I saw the Kings and the Sharks play in San Jose a few weeks ago, and unfortunately that's not true.
You don't think so? No, I saw them play a preseason game, and the Kings stomped all over the Sharks.
Yeah,
I think if we didn't make a lot
if we didn't make the trades, it's another story. But the Kings traded Alex Zhitnik, one of the great young defensemen in the National Hockey League.
Definitely.
They traded him for nothing.
Right.
For nothing. They traded him for an over-the-hill, aging goaltender.
Right, who wasn't that great for us anyway.
He was, you know what? He was never that great ever. He was the most overrated goaltender of the 1980s. And then these two unknown defensemen who've done nothing. And I'm sorry. It was a lousy trade, and they keep trying to justify it. And Sam McMaster, as far as I'm concerned, you know, he's in over his head.
Yep. I mean, we're Rudy McSorley Blake fans. I mean, this house. I mean, I'm in Northern California, and my dad had to buy a satellite dish because I wouldn't move up here unless we got our hockey.
Oh, so you watch Prime Sports, and you watch Bob Miller on there, and you watch the Kings, do you?
Oh, yes. I don't miss a game. Anything could go on in my life, and someone can call me and say, hey, we're going to a party, and I'll say, nope, the hockey game's on.
Oh, you see, you're like us.
Oh, yes. Even my license plate says Marty 33. I'll rough it with Kings 33 Marty McSorley on the frame.
And everybody up there in Red Bluff is saying, who's Marty?
Oh, no, I got King stickers all over my truck.
Oh,
I got King's watch. I have everything. Gretzky's 802 puck, everything.
Wow. Well, you certainly are a big fan. I am a big fan. The Kings better make a lot of changes before next year.
Well, I think the biggest change is to get rid of Sam McMaster and get back some of our best players.
I agree. You know what? I want my playoff money back, too. I don't want to give the owners of the Kings the free use of my money for the summer. I want my money back now.
Yeah, I agree.
And I'm going to be calling them any day now to say, I want a full refund of all the money you have.
I have a question also. Do you think that when Wayne Gretzky retires, he'll be the new coach of the Kings?
No.
You don't think so?
Nope.
See, I don't know.
My guess is once Wayne Gretzky retires, he will want to get as far away from being involved in the day-to-day operations of a hockey team as he can get.
Really?
That's what I think.
God. I don't know. I'm hoping he'd be a coach. I think he'd be a good coach. Or maybe he'd become the owner of the Kings.
Well, I hope the next person who owns the Kings has money.
Not like Mr. McNall there.
Well, he doesn't have much left.
No.
And the new owners of the Kings don't seem to have two nickels to rub together.
Exactly.
So they need a new owner, they need somebody with money, and they need to get rid of Sam McMaster, the general manager.
Yeah.
See, I figured the whole thing out, and you already knew all that, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
All right, well, there you go. Who else knows about hockey? Who?
Who else knows about hockey? Oh, my family does.
I'll bet they do.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Buzz 100.7 FM presents 54 Funny Lawrence. That's right, 54 Dr. Lawrence Schlesingers, all giving advice. Neuroses, psychoses, and the nitro-burning bad relationship. Dr. Laura, weekdays, noon, here on The Buzz 100.7 FM. Watch our beat on 351 Cleveland.
Direct from cyberspace, it's time for a CompUSA commercial.
Hi, welcome to CompUSA.
Hi there, I need some help.
Buying a new printer, right?
How did you know?
Here at CompUSA, we know our customers.
Wow, so CompUSA
takes all the guesswork out of buying computer products by offering the best selection and great prices.
Well, you are amazing.
Come on, you're embarrassing me.
Okay, I'm thinking of a number between...
What is it?
6.
You're right.
CompUSA has 0% interest and no payments for 6 months with no minimum purchase. So get the Hewlett-Packard LaserJet 5P printer. It has the best HP LaserJet printer features for budget smart-minded small businesses. It's wireless compatible, prints 6 pages per minute, has lots of fonts, 2 paper sources, plus HP reliability, expandability, and more. And the HP LaserJet 5P printer is just $859.99 at CompUSA.
Wow, I saved a lot on this HP printer. CompUSA really is
The computer superstore?
Oh, you CompUSA guys make everything
easy, thanks.
6 months, 0% financing offer expires 5/27/95. Subject to approval if not paid in full within 6 months of purchase. Finance charges assessed from purchase date. Variable APR of 22.8% as of 3/31/95. 50 cents minimum finance charge may apply.
Here at Budget Rent-A-Car, we always encourage the people who rent our vehicles to operate them in a safe, responsible manner. But this is one time when we're urging you to step on it. Because if you hurry, you can take advantage of some special low rates at Budget, like $129 for an economy car for 4 days nationwide, or $199 for a minivan nationwide for 5 days, except in New York. But these rates won't last for long. So call your travel agent or Budget today and get an economy car for 4 days nationwide for only $129, or a minivan for 5 days nationwide for only $199, except in New York. Rates are valid at participating U.S. locations through July 10th. Optional LDW $14.99 or less per day where available. Surcharges and other restrictions may apply in the New York metro area for the economy car offer. Other important restrictions apply. Consult your local phone directory for the Budget location nearest you.
This weekend only, the Puyallup auto dealers have combined their inventories. Over 3,000 new and used vehicles on sale. You won't want to miss the incredible savings coming this weekend to Puyallup.
Your parents are on your case. They want you to get a life. It's time for a change.
Time for a change.
You go to college. You become a brain surgeon. You buy a vet. Your parents are impressed.
We're so impressed.
They tell the neighbors. They tell their friends. They tell that girl who dumped you because you flipped burgers. She calls. Life rocks. Then the IRS calls. They take the vet. You move back in with your parents.
We're not impressed.
They tell the neighbors. They tell their friends. They tell that girl who dumped you. You call her. She blows you off. Life sucks. Spare yourself the agony. Put a set of NGK V-Power spark plugs in your car. NGKs are so good, almost 9 out of 10 car makers worldwide use them. V-Power spark plugs let you squeeze more juice from your V8, get more kicks from your 6. Soon you find yourself driving with more authority. You tell your boss where he can stick his burger flipper. You get a real job. Your parents are impressed.
We're so impressed.
Word gets around. This time, the girl calls you. Life rocks. NGK V-Power spark plugs. They may not change your life, but they could be the spark.
Treat your family to a fun Father's Day weekend. Come to the Bon Marché Dad and Me Fun Run and Festival Saturday, June 17th at Redmond's Marymoor Park. There's the annual runs, walks, fun runs, and games. Plus, this year, there's even more activities. That means more music, more games, more entertainment, just more fun. And don't forget the free food like Subway sandwiches, 5 bars, yummy yogurt, and Keebler crackers. Register at any Bon Marché. Sponsored by Polo Sport, the Journal American, Cairo TV, and the Buzz 100.7 FM.
Hello, Trails End Motel.
Yes, I'd like to rent a room.
Okay, but I need to tell you right up front, there's a problem or two with your room.
Just as long as it comes with an FM radio so I can hear the morning show on the Buzz.
The room's kind of dingy and the bed's lumpy.
Long as I can hear the morning show, I don't care.
There's a problem with mice and roaches.
Nothing bothers me when I'm listening to that morning show.
There's about 6 inches of standing water on the floor.
Yeah, but does it come with an FM radio so I can listen to the Buzz?
No, it doesn't.
What kind of dump are you running?
Tom Leykis Show.
Sorry, I'm eating. It's a weekend. Somebody brought bagels in. This is one good bagel. The hell of professionalism. What do I care? This Kool cigarette question is certainly getting a lot of response. I didn't intend this to be a topic on the show. It was just a question. This is Kurt in Sacramento who writes, Dear Tom, the thing with black people who do smoke and why they choose Kools as opposed to Marlboro is advertising and product association. It's simple. Open up any Ebony or Jet magazine, you will not see some cowboy atop a horse trying to rope some steer out in the middle of nowhere. Most likely, you will find an image of a young, handsome, up-and-coming black male or female dressed to go out on the town in an urban setting, i.e. nightclub or social event. Basically, it's target marketing, and unfortunately, it's working. Incidentally, there have been studies to show that tobacco and alcohol products that target African Americans have the highest content of tar and cheap alcohol byproducts. Signed, non-smoker and bodybuilder Kurt from Sacramento. P.S. Give Mike Tyson a break. Okay. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Louis is a first-time caller from Compton, California. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
Glad to hear your voice. I listened to you on the other station and thought I had lost you.
How did you find me, Louise?
By one of the ads on a bus.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's great. We used to have ads on buses here in L.A.
Uh-huh.
And we don't have them anymore, but I'm glad you saw one of them while they were there.
Yes, and I found you, and I'm not letting you go.
Cool.
The reason why I think a lot of Afro-Americans smoke Kool is because in the early 50s and, in the late 50s and early 60s, Kool was the cigarette of choice for pot smokers.
Really?
Yes. And it was kind of like a stigma. If you smoke Kool, everybody said, I know what you do. You know? So maybe it's a carryover from the next generation, like the fathers and mothers.
Nowadays, it's anybody who smokes Phillies blunts.
Oh, okay.
Those are the pot smokers now.
But
they even wear T-shirts advertising it. It's like code, you know. We know what you're talking about there.
Yeah.
You don't smoke tobacco. You just look like you smoke tobacco.
Yeah, but that's why I think it's just a carryover.
You think so?
Yeah.
Interesting. I had no idea.
Dad smoked Kool, so I'm going to smoke Kool, you know.
Do you smoke Kools?
No.
I'm just checking. I don't
know. No.
You sound like you know an awful lot about it.
I used to smoke Camel, and the first cigarette I smoked was Cavalier. I don't even think they make them anymore.
If they did, I haven't known about it.
No.
Oh, woof.
But anyway, that was my opinion on why a lot of Afro-Americans smoke Kool.
Well, I have been wondering.
Okay.
Thanks, Louise.
Sure, bye-bye.
Take care, bye-bye. June is a first-time caller from a payphone in Chattanooga. Hi, June.
Hi.
What's
How
up?
You doing?
Good.
Well, I'm just calling you about the blacks and Kool thing.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to ask you a question. What about whites and Camels and Marlboros? Same thing, right?
Well, I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. See, there's a lot more white folks around than black folks. And so I see white folks with a variety of cigarette brands and stuff. But most black folks I know who smoke, most black folks I know do not smoke. The ones who smoke all seem to smoke Kools. And the black folks who are calling in are all agreeing with me on this.
Don't forget Newports. Black folks also smoke Newports.
Newports?
Mm-hmm.
What is it about those menthol cigarettes? What is it?
I don't know. I guess advertising has a lot to do with it. Like the caller before said, when you look into a black magazine like Jet and Ebony, you find Kool advertising. You don't find Camel or Marlboro in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like Colt 45. I don't think I've ever seen any white folks drinking Colt 45. Now, except in commercials on TV. Do they even advertise that on TV anymore? I don't know, but when I was a kid, they used to have ads for Colt 45, and it was always some guy who looked like James Bond drinking Colt 45. Then you go out in the street, and who was drinking Colt 45? It was black kids who were drinking Colt 45.
So let me tell you something, Tom. I'm biracial. So in one hand, I have a Kool, and in the other hand, I have a Marlboro. So I can go both ways. You have a good night.
You too, June.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. In one hand, she's got an Old English 800, and in the other hand, she has a light ice. Okay, there you go. Celebrating both of her ethnicities or races. Bethy, a first-time caller from Citrus Heights, California. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Bethy.
It's so nice to get through to you. You're the first person I've ever called on the radio.
Oh, cool.
I've got a point to make here, and it goes back to those racists that call in that talk about the Jews owning the banks and the world and running all the media and all that stuff. There's a point that I never hear you make, and that point is that anybody can convert to Judaism. It is a religion. It's not a race. It's not a nationality. It's not even an ethnic background. Anybody can convert to Judaism. So, and especially in the area that I live in Citrus Heights here in California, I have never, ever met so many people of so many different kinds of backgrounds colors, everything, who have converted to Judaism. I don't know why, but there are, and they have all different kinds of names. Wang is a Jew. These are some Chinese people that I met. They're Asians. They're from China, and they chose to convert to Judaism. Fine, they're Jewish. I've met Irish Catholics who converted to Judaism. Now, when people discuss ethnic backgrounds, yeah, it can be, in a sense, in describing where somebody's from as to what their genealogy is, like saying somebody is, like I said, is an Irish Catholic. Okay, what kind of a Catholic? They're an Irish Catholic. Okay, somebody's genealogy, albeit wiped out now, they could have been Polish Jews. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, I hear what you're saying. I never understood the interest people have.
Well, it's really weird. I myself am Jewish, and people ask me what your nationality is, and I say, well, I'm born in the United States. And they say, no, your nationality. And I say, are you talking about my ethnic heritage? Oh, well, on my father's side, I'm Sephardic, and he's a second-generation Sephardic Jew. Sephardim were originally from Spain, so I consider myself an Hispanic Jew on my father's side. On my mother's side, I'm Ashkenazic, and I'm the 9th generation in the United States. And by the way, I love it when racists always tell me to go back to where I came from, and my heritage has been here I'm the 9th generation, so it's like great.
Yeah, I have never understood this fascination people have with ethnicity and race. I just don't get it. I have no fascination with it. I don't identify with an ethnicity or a race. I don't care. I just don't think that way, and I don't know why anyone else does. But that's me. Bethy, thank you. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. 18 minutes before the hour. Wide open telephones. My name is Tom Leykis.
This is the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi, this is Bob Vila in the newly carpeted living room of Jerry and Barb Shearer. Nice job.
Thanks, Bob. We had some pretty specific decorating ideas.
And Sears helped us find exactly what we wanted.
Looks great. And so can your home during Sears' big Memorial Day sale. Save $2 to $17 a square yard on all carpet. Sale excludes some specially priced value carpets.
I love it. The room is just the way I pictured it.
Check it out. The Memorial Day carpet sale through Monday at Sears.
Now is the best time to get your car ready for summer with new tires from Sears. Through May 31st, they're all on sale at savings of 5 to 20%. No matter what you drive, remember, with names like Goodyear, Michelin, Bridgestone, and Road Handler, no one can match Sears' selection and unbeatable low prices. And by staying open late evenings, Sears makes your tire buying as easy as possible. All tires, all sizes, all 5 to 20% off. Get to Sears Auto Center today.
It's their biggest sale ever. So huge, it's taken 4 days to do it. This Memorial Day weekend, Kirkland Nissan is slashing prices on over 150 new Nissans. Due to the volume of inventory and expected number of trade-ins, Kirkland Nissan has decided to hold this sale at Totem Lake Mall. But that's not all. They've received special last-minute factory-to-dealer incentives to move 100 of these new cars by end of business Monday. What's that mean to you? Plenty. It means they're ready to deal with on-the-spot financing available on approval of credit. So bring your checkbook and your trade-in, paid for or not. Rarely will you get a chance to experience savings like these. No matter where you live, head to Totem Lake Mall for this major Nissan sales event. It's Kirkland Nissan's big 4-day Memorial Weekend off-site sale with over 150 new Nissans with prices slashed. And it's this Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at Totem Lake Mall, just off I-405. If you want to save money, lots of it, then be there for the deals. Kirkland Nissan, Memorial Day weekend.
All of us here at Roundtable Pizza sure are excited to meet the man who designed our new Alfredo Contempo Pizza. Alfredo doesn't speak a word of English, so I'll do the best I can with my high school Italian. Alfredo? It is good to see so many happy Roundtable faces. I have labored for years to make a pizza with a very special sauce. My sauce.
Alfredo sauce for Roundtable.
Alfredo sauce and a Roundtable pizza. Also, I love the smoked ham and fresh roasted chicken. But enough talk, my apron-wearing kitchen artist. Let's make pizza. What an inspiring man.
Introducing the new Alfredo Contempo Pizza at Round Table. Fresh roasted chicken, smoked ham, spinach, and artichoke hearts on our new Alfredo sauce. It's a wonderful new kind of pizza, and it's only at Round Table Pizza. The Buzz 100.7 FM is proud to announce that we have never played Stairway to Heaven. And with your help, we never will.
Minutes before the hour. The Tom Leykis Show. Thanks for tuning in. Different kind of a radio talk program, folks. It's different. It makes some people very, very uncomfortable. They'll get used to it. Jim in Albany, New York. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
How you doing, Tom?
Okay, Jim.
Second-time caller here.
Cool.
I'd like to just say, first of all, that I'd classify myself as a conservative, and I think you're very fair with opposing views.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, you've been talking about two things. You've been talking about the Kool cigarette issue, and as I tuned in, I caught the tail end of this alleged Jewish control of the media issue. Now, I think this begs the question, what brand of cigarettes do most black Jews smoke?
Gee, I haven't checked.
Well, Sammy Davis Jr. isn't around anymore for us.
Well, there are other black Jews. They're not as well known, of course.
Not Louis Farrakhan.
No. They're from Ethiopia, most of them. But
that's true. You're right. Well, what I was going to say, Tom, is as a teenager growing up in Staten Island, New York, I actually was a 15-year-old working a deli counter.
I know Staten Island very well. I spent many hours of my life waiting for the Richmond Avenue bus.
The 4.
Yeah, you could wait forever for that bus.
You used to live on Staten Island?
I had a cousin who lived near the corner of Forest and Richmond.
Oh, yeah.
Right near the Wetsons. Remember Wetsons?
Yeah, they're gone.
I've been all over I've been everywhere, for God's sake.
McDonald's and Burger King.
I know where Kill Van Kull is, for God's sake.
Fresh Kills landfill. But what I was going to say was, and this going back 20 years, even then I noticed a definite trend of the blacks buying the mentholated, or as one older black fella told me, the medicated cigarettes. And he was a Pall Mall smoker. He goes, I don't smoke that medicated stuff. You know, I'm a real cigarette smoker. But what I think one of the causes is, because I've traveled around the Northeast and in inner city areas, is if you go into, say, Harlem or some of your other primarily black areas, you see these billboards plastered on the sides of buildings, and it's very prevalent. They'll have, just like you said, the Jet magazine ad, except this is the billboard.
But here's the question. Which came first? Did Kool's market to blacks, and therefore blacks started buying them, or was it the other way around? Were Kool cigarettes hip with black folks, and the cigarette companies caught on to that and started exploiting it? Which was it?
Well, probably they were already, I mean, it's before my time, especially if that other call is right. She's taking this back to the 1950s. But I think somewhere along the line there must have been some kind of inroads that they made, and they were the first ones to make them. I mean, certainly the cowboy image doesn't fit the black community. So somehow they must have homed in on something. I'm not sure. But the other thing, the counterpart to that, is the malt liquor industry, which, you know, definitely, especially when you look at, like, who's buying these 40-ounce bottles. You heard about the 40s?
Of course.
Right. And there's been a lot of outcry in the black communities about how this stuff, and actually some of the black teenagers call this stuff liquid crack, because supposedly you get a wicked buzz off of...
Well, it's very high alcohol. I mean, that's what the malt liquor company is not allowed to say. What malt liquor is it's beer with a very high alcohol content. But because beer companies have been prohibited from telling you
that's true
what's in beer,
right?
They just kind of say things like it has more of that taste. It has more of what you want.
Right.
It has less of what you don't and more of what you do, if you know what we mean. Wink, wink.
Last thing I wanted to say was, you see, the black community is kind of in a catch-22 here, in that, that certain community organizations are willing to accept tobacco money for sponsorship of sporting events or even projects in the community. And it's kind of hard on the one hand to accept this money, and then on the other hand to say, hey, we don't want these billboards hanging around our block, So I think a decision's going to have to be made at some point, where they want to go on that.
Well, I believe in a free market society. You should be able to market to whomever you want to.
I do too.
And, fact is, if you don't want a liquor store in your neighborhood, don't patronize it.
That's right.
Don't patronize it.
Mm-hmm.
But to say there shouldn't be liquor stores in African-American neighborhoods is outrageous. This is a country of free enterprise, and the easiest way to put someone out of business is not to go there.
That's right.
What you're saying by demanding that these stores pull out of black neighborhoods is you are saying, we're not strong enough to resist coming in there. You're going to have to do it for us. And I think that's crazy.
Oh, by the way, Tom, my wife likes her teddy bear.
Oh, she won the teddy bear.
We were one of the lucky recipients of the teddy bear and a $50 check.
Cool.
Okay.
We'll tell the folks from Russ Teddy Bear. Thank you, Jim.
Okay, thanks, Tom.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye. All right. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Wide open telephones, 9 minutes before the hour. My name is Tom Leykis.
You're listening to the Tom Leykis Show.
I'd like to improve my memory this Memorial Day.
Okay, try this. During Sears Memorial Day sale, when you used your Sears card to buy a Kenmore refrigerator, computer, and other select brand Central items, ask for no billing, no payments, and no finance charge until November.
No billing, no payments, no finance charge. Got it.
Minimum purchase, $200, APR 21%. Minimum finance charge, 50 cents, both lower in some states. Regular credit terms apply after November 95. See store for details.
Come again?
Come to Sears Brand Central, and it'll all come back to you. But hurry, 0% finance charge ends Wednesday.
Sears Brand Central, 0% ends Wednesday?
Very good.
Now is the best time to get your car ready for summer with new tires from Sears. Through May 31st, they're all on sale at savings of 5 to 20%. No matter what you drive, remember, with names like Goodyear, Michelin, Bridgestone, and Road Handler, no one can match Sears' selection and unbeatable low prices. And by staying open late evenings, Sears makes your tire buying as easy as possible. All tires, all sizes, all 5 to 20% off. Get to Sears Auto Center today.
You know, when you get beyond your 30s, your hassle tolerance sort of maxes out. With your job, your bills, a 3-page to-do list, you say to yourself, okay, that's enough. You start concentrating on what's important, your family, maybe even your grandkids. That's why a lot of us have come back to Subaru, like the Subaru Legacy. It's not only a safe investment, it's a safe car. With all-wheel drive and ABS brakes for the same price others charge for 2-wheel drive. So you get it all. Safety, luxury, and economy. And being a bit wiser, we buy our Subaru from the home of hassle-free buying, Carter Subaru. Carter offers hassle-free service 7 days a week, plus hassle-free loan cars. So spend more time with your family and less time with hassles. Buy your Subaru Legacy from Carter Subaru. It's not just one less thing to worry about. It's about 10 less things to worry about.
Right now, buy a new Subaru Legacy at Carter Subaru and get back up to $1,250 or pay only 1.9% APR. Carter Subaru, where hassle-free really means hassle-free. 1.9% APR for 24 months on approval of credit.
So one day I'm driving out in the country on this dirt road, and then my car dies on me in the middle of nowhere, leaving me with the following choices. I could either A, shoot off official Coast Guard distress flares, B, hop on a cow and ride it to the nearest town. Nice cow. Giddy up, Bessie. Or C, use my U.S. West Cellular service to call for help.
When it comes time to choose cellular, make the smart choice, U.S. West Cellular. Because only U.S. West Cellular offers you the digital megaphone. It's a cellular phone, pager, and answering machine all rolled into one. And it costs less than other digital phones.
So now if my car breaks down way out in the country, I could catch a ride on the back of a pig farmer's truck. Excuse me, is the seat taken? Or be smart and call on U.S. West Cellular instead.
To get a U.S. West Cellular megaphone, see a U.S. West Cellular retailer or call 1-800-BUY-TIME. We feature state-of-the-art phones by Motorola, so make the smart choice. Call 1-800-BUY-TIME.
Hey, after a little lift? Then Dr. Laura's just what you need. Find out how good you have it. Weekdays at noon on The Buzz, 100.7 FM.
5 minutes before the hour. My name is Tom Leykis. This is the Tom Leykis Show. Thanks for tuning in. Gina in Sacramento, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi. I just wanted to talk a little bit about race. I'll try to be succinct here. First of all, I think that there's a little bit of a danger in assuming that all people that hold a prejudiced or racist view are unintelligent, because some actually probably have a high IQ, and then they're more subtle about the way they go about expressing.
Well, I've never said that they were all unintelligent, because I've seen David Duke, who is a very intelligent person who I think is more dangerous than the idiots, like the ones who call in and try to tell me what Jews are controlling the media.
Right, that's what I'm...
And they got some old list out of some racist publication.
Right, I was responding more to a caller than to you, actually.
Yes.
But I do have a personal, constructive criticism. I think you yourself, I understand where your sentiment's coming from, that you don't want to pay attention to race, and you personally don't think it's a big deal. Unfortunately, historically, it's been made such a big deal in this country as far as how laws were shaped and things were done. And I think it's still so much an influence on the way people think.
Well, I'm not saying it's not. Understand where I'm coming from, Gina.
Right.
I just think it shouldn't be, and for me, it's not a big deal.
Except, unfortunately, you were raised in a culture, whether you want to claim it or not, and the subtleties of what you were
What
taught.
is white culture, Gina? What is that? Give me some of the elements of white culture.
I'm not white.
All right, well, let me tell you something. I don't see a white culture.
Well, but that's because I think that white people need to claim it for themselves and not be so afraid to claim what
there's nothing to claim. There's nothing. I don't see anything inherent about being white.
Maybe not, but maybe you need to think about being German or Irish or French.
I couldn't care less.
Whatever you come down.
I'm not from any of those places. I'm from America, from the United States of America. And people in America are all colors, all ethnicities, all religions, or a lack of religions. It's all here. I don't see myself as being German or something like that. I don't get that. I've never been to a lot of the countries that people claim, and most people haven't.
But then maybe that's the difference, because say, like, I'm Hispanic and I'm Mexican, and...
So you're from Mexico?
No, I'm not.
Ever been to Mexico?
Yes.
Spent any time there?
Yes.
And
I used to go spend time with relatives there. And in other words, I'm not saying I'm from there. I don't want to be a citizen of Mexico. But what I'm saying is that by being Chicana, I'm saying that I have a cultural background that I claim and I'm proud of.
But what is it?
With putting down anyone else.
But what is it? Can you explain it to me?
What, my culture?
Mm-hmm.
In like 2 minutes? Before
well, I mean,
I could.
Just give me some of the headlines here.
If I had a little bit of time. It's a strong sense of family. It's a strong sense of...
That's not uniquely Hispanic.
No, it's not. But I think the way that we go about it is probably different and probably similar to some people. It's just an identification. But as far as worrying about who's what race, I don't spend a lot of time doing that. But I think that there's nothing wrong in having a feeling of affiliation with the people that you relate most to. That doesn't mean...
But I don't understand why you relate most to people who are Hispanic.
Because they brought me up.
Yeah, but you relate then to the people who brought you up, but they could be from anywhere. They just happen to be of Mexican heritage. But that doesn't mean that you relate to all people who are Mexican. My goodness.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Let me give you our address if you'd like to drop us a line, because everybody doesn't get through on the phone. In fact, most people don't get through on the phone. So here's our address. The Tom Leykis Show is at Post Office Box 4455. That's Box 4455, Hollywood, California, 90078. Or email me over the weekend. I'm at the typewriter, the keyboard, whatever. It's TOMLEYKIS at AOL.com. No, don't write to my typewriter. The Tom Leykis Show.
The simple joy of slacking. Yep, nothing better than killing time, but don't do it alone. Lounge with Rick Enlow, weekdays 9 to noon on The Buzz. KIRO-FM, Seattle.
CBS News, I'm Lisa Meyer. It apparently was a rumored book deal that got a 38-year-old telephone company employee bounced from the jury in the O.J. Simpson trial. In a broadcast interview, the former juror denied ever having such a contract, and she offered new insight into the ever-shrinking ranks of the Simpson jury. David Dow reports.
Taken at face value, the statements of the latest dismissed juror indicate courtroom observers have grossly misread the sequestered panel. What has been characterized as a juror revolt over the reassignment of 3 bailiffs was no revolt at all, says Francine Florio-Button. Jurors wore black simply as a show of fond farewell. And she says she felt no significant racial tensions on the panel, as many have reported. Nor was she leaning toward the prosecution, as prosecutors themselves have suspected.
CBS News has learned that 2 more jurors are under investigation. Dow Corning's decision to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection won't stop the legal battle over faulty breast implants. The bankruptcy filing freezes lawsuits against Dow Corning, but a federal bankruptcy judge in Michigan says parent company Dow Chemical doesn't enjoy the same protection. Dow Chemical has claimed that it can't be held responsible for the actions of its subsidiary. The Senate Labor Committee has sent Dr. Henry Foster's Surgeon General nomination onto the full Senate for a vote. But as Mark Knoller reports, confirmation is far from a done deal.
Despite the victory in committee, the White House admits it has a lot of hard work ahead of it to win full Senate approval of the Foster nomination. If Majority Leader Bob Dole lets the nomination come to the floor, and that's not yet a sure thing, Senator Phil Gramm has vowed to kill it by filibuster. The White House thinks it could garner a simple majority to win confirmation for Dr. Foster, but it admits it doesn't yet have the 60 votes it would take to shut down a filibuster. President Clinton says he'll need the help of Republicans willing to put country above party.
The Bosnian Serb decision to use captured UN troops as human shields guarding against new NATO airstrikes may be diplomatically unpopular, but it's apparently achieved its intended effect. The BBC's Jim Muir reports from Sarajevo.
So far, their tactic of holding UN peacekeepers hostage appears to have paid off. There have been no more NATO air raids, despite massive flouting by the Serbs of all the deadlines and demands made by the UNPROFOR commander in Bosnia, General Rupert Smith. Other observers are also at risk. Groups of French and Canadian military personnel from several positions in Serb-controlled territory are also reported to have been taken elsewhere by the Serbs.
France is threatening to withdraw from the peacekeeping mission unless the UN does more to protect its troops. With less than a month to go before legislative elections, 800,000 voter registration cards in Haiti have disappeared. It's unclear whether the thieves intend to stuff the ballot box or simply deny voters a chance to exercise their right. This is CBS News.